On today's very special haunting adventure, we are at Pleasure and Pain Tattoo in Attleboro, Massachusetts after two of the artists had a paranormal experience they will likely never forget.
We were given exclusive access to the entire tattoo shop to see if we can find any evidence of this paranormal entity.
Pleasure and Pain is a phenomenal tattoo shop. The owner, Jeff, actually does my tattoos. We are very grateful for this opportunity and we really can't thank them enough.
And to start off tonight's investigation, we sat down with owner Jeff Burt so he could explain a little bit to us about what actually happened on that night.
My name is Jeff Burt. I own Pleasure and Pain Tattoo here in Attleboro, Massachusetts. Well, this shop is our second location, and we've only had this one. We opened in March of 2020, and we were open for 2 weeks, and then we had to shut down for 14 weeks because of COVID. Our other location, Taunton location, has been successful since 2001. So, like, the first time that I felt like there was something a little uneasy here was when I was building the place, because when I built the shop, there were a lot of nights where I'd be here until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning by myself, or maybe with a friend of mine, or even my wife. But there were a lot of late nights, and a couple of the late nights that I was here by myself, there were several instances where, man, I felt uncomfortable. Like, I would just have some tunes on, and I was working on the floors, or I was working on walls, or whatever I was working on, and I would just hear odd bangs, clunks, doors kind of moving. I always blamed it on, it's a new building, I gotta get used to it. That's the furnace kicking on, that's the hot water tank kicking in. Or I always tried to justify it in my mind, but I always had this uneasiness when I was building the place, and I always tried to just turn a blind eye to it. And there were a couple nights where I just finished up a little bit sooner than I was planning, just because I didn't really feel comfortable. But the night in question, the night that eventually led me to you guys, was the night that about 2 weeks ago, I was working on Dana, one of the other artists that works here, and we were staying a little bit late, trying to finish up his back piece, and he's finishing a piece on my stomach. So every couple weeks we just stay late and work on each other. We trade off. Well, this one particular night, it was Dana's turn to get the needles, so I was working on his back for about an hour and a half, 2 hours into it, and you know, we were just having fun, nice conversations, and listening to some tunes, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we just heard a voice. What the fuck was that? That sounded like it was like, I could almost feel the breath on my ear. It felt like it was that close.
Holy shit. Did the alarm on?
It was just weird. I just jumped up and I was like, I wasn't even sure Dana heard. I wasn't paying attention to him. I just jumped up and I looked. And then Dana, I felt him. He was right behind me. He jumped up too. And we were both convinced there was someone in the shop. I thought I heard the words hello. But Dana was convinced that it wasn't hello, it was help. So we got up. We looked around the shop. The shop was already locked up for over 2 hours. It was locked up. All the other artists had left. It was probably about 11:30, maybe midnight. And we walked through the entire shop looking around. We thought for sure someone was in here. We double checked both the doors and make sure that everything was locked, and it was. We looked out in the parking lot, and yeah, we didn't find anything. But we both heard this person or entity speak to us at the same time, and it was weird. Like a day or two after that, we had an appointment, and ADT finally came in and put the security system in for us. And when they put it in, maybe 2 nights after they put it in, or the third night after they put it in, 3:30 in the morning, we get a phone call from ADT telling us that there is an irregularity with the alarm system. And you know, I was half asleep. Actually, my wife answered the first time. She was half asleep, and she's like, "What do you mean? Is someone breaking in?" They said, "No, it's not a code that says that someone's opened the door or smashed a window. It's an irregularity." And they don't know what it is. They said it could be faulty wiring, it could be any number of things, but it's definitely, the building is definitely secure. So we would kind of like, well, why are you calling us? You know what I mean? It's the middle of the night. And then the next day, my wife followed up with them. They said that maybe they'll send a tech out to take a look at it. That still hasn't happened. And then that was about it. And then I think it was the very next night or 2 nights after that, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, my phone went off. I'm the primary contact and my wife's secondary. I think I must have slept through the first one. But my phone went off. I answered it. Again, ADT, and irregularity with the alarm system. Same bullshit as the first time. And yeah, so that is kind of unexplained if you ask me. We still haven't had it looked at, but it hasn't happened since. So most of the artists and people that work here have an uncomfortable feeling in the basement. Everybody that works here is creeped out by downstairs. I try not to let it bother me. If I get something to do, there's not much down there. We have a refrigerator and a microwave and a small little employee lounge type of room. Other than that, there's really not much down there. There's no reason to go down there, so I'm not down there too much. But if I want to warm up a sandwich or grab a cold soda or something like that, then I'll go down there. And it is creepy. It's definitely a little bit... it's always in the back of your mind when you're down there. You get this uneasiness and the hair stick out on the back of my neck a little bit. But I've never had an incident per se.
So one quick thing is, why did you want us to come here?
I was just curious to see if, this is all in my mind, if this is, all just something that we kind of imagined, or if there might actually be something here. So I figured who better to call than you guys, because I know that you guys have a pretty, solid background in finding stuff like this.
All right, we're here at Pleasure and Pain. We're going to get the investigation going. And to start, I've always wanted to do this. We're going to kill all the lights. Let's get spooky, folks. We're going to check out the basement here at Pleasure and Pain, which a lot of the artists here say is very creepy, especially with the lights off. So first thing we do when we get down there is shut all these lights off. It is very dark. They weren't lying. We began filming in the basement and things got off to a strange start. Jeff and Dana thought they heard... Oh, my flashlight's on.
I don't know, I heard that.
We have to, consider that there is electrical stuff down here and...
That it's somewhat still under construction.
And yes, it's somewhat still under construction. But if there is anyone else here with us tonight I should say, can you make a noise? Was that you that just made that noise? Jeff and Dana thought they heard... Oh, my flashlight's on. My flashlight's on. Hey, Jeff, look. Ghost toilet. Is this where you do your business? Alright, so we're going to head back upstairs now. So we are upstairs right in the lobby of Pleasure and Pain, and according to Jeff and Dana, that is where the female voice they heard came from. So we got our voice recorder. We are going to try to do an EVP session to see if we can pick up any audio with this entity. So I'm going to put that right there. Wait till the red light is on and we're good to go. All right. Is anyone here with us tonight? We didn't hear much during this EVP session until Jack and I heard this. Are you not in the mood to talk today, or what was that?
Did you hear that? Sounded like somebody tapped on the glass.
Dude. I have goosebumps from that. I'm gonna see if there's anything down there. Nothing there.
Sounds like...
Dude, that sounded like...
Yeah.
On the glass. Right behind it.
Yeah.
Was that you who just tapped on the glass? Alright, so that is it for EVP session 1. We've heard some strange noises and Just heard something tap on the glass, so we'll have to keep our ears open. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do solo sessions, but we're gonna do it a little differently. I'm gonna go downstairs with one GoPro for 5, 6, 7 minutes by myself. Jack's gonna stay up here with the other GoPro. We're each gonna conduct our own EVP sessions. We're each gonna try and get our own experiences caught on camera and audio. So I'll see you in 5 minutes, Jack. So I am going downstairs into the bowels of pleasure and pain. I'm gonna take a seat in the break room, I think. So, just gonna sit and chill out. So, wow, that light is fucking bright. Film away from me for a few minutes. So, if there's, any spirit down here in the basement with me, make yourself known.
We just want to give a quick shout out to Pleasure and Pain for letting us come here for the night. They do some sick tattoos. My brother's got a couple from Jeff, so me not so much. I don't like needles. So my name's Jack. If you're here, just tell me.
Is there a spirit or an entity down here with me? Tell you what, I am going to turn the camera on.
I just heard a little knock. So I just heard a knock, but that was the window for sure.
You guys heard that, right? Oh my God. Dude, I hear like feet shuffling on the floor in that room. During this solo session, I heard a bang from the next room. Oddly enough, Jack heard it from upstairs too.
I just heard a big knock. Sounded like it was underneath me though. That one I can't explain.
Oh my God. Turn that camera off. Now that was creepy. That gave me fucking goosebumps. Alright, I have to check this out. Nothing in here as far as I can see. But I heard clear as day that bang and then feet shuffling along this floor. Clear as day.
My time's running short. I need you to tell me something.
Suddenly, our audio recorders picked up a strange noise, and after reviewing it further, it does sound like a voice, but we are not sure what it is or what it is saying.
Sure to bang.
A few minutes after we picked up the voice, I came back upstairs.
I heard a huge bang halfway
Jack.
through.
I heard that too.
You heard that?
Jack,
This is...
is that filming?
Yeah.
I'll come over here.
You heard that huge
Jack.
bang?
I heard that, and then I heard this in that construction room.
I thought I heard somebody walking too.
Dude, my hands, I had fucking goosebumps.
At one point, I couldn't tell if I heard a voice or if it was you talking, because it was very mumbled. And then 5-10 seconds later, I heard your voice clear as day.
Alright, we're gonna have to review that, because I definitely should have picked up the bang in this thing.
That should have picked it up too, yeah.
I heard the bang, and then I heard footsteps clearly in that construction room. So, today we're going to try something new we've never done on any haunting adventures. Also, it's a little easier because we're indoors. But we want to try to play the knocking game. Basically, we want to see if we can communicate with this entity through knocking. So, if there is a spirit here with us today, could you please knock just like this? As we continued knocking, our audio recorders picked up a response after this attempt. It's funny. During the day, clocks are so silent, and then when it's dead silent, all you can hear is the clock. Can you knock for us? Just like this. What about finishing this for me?
So for most of this video, Matt has done most of the talking. So I'm going to take a turn and see if we can't help out Pleasure and Pain to see if there's actually any spirits here. So to start, you've already hopefully spoken to my brother Matt. My name is Jack, and if there's anybody here with us, I really want to know what your name is, so tell us what your name is. Hear that bag? That may have just been a bag.
A bag of chips?
Yeah, you didn't hear it go pop?
No. The ghost is hungry.
Could you finish the knock for me? I want to hear after I go dun 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 dun. That's what I want to hear from you. So here we go. Does it bother you that there's a tattoo shop here now? Are you not a fan of tattoos?
Can you tap on the glass again? We were about to check out the vault, but before we entered, we remembered an interesting story told to us by the tattoo apprentice, Paul.
So hi, how's it going? My name is Paul Endress. I'm the tattoo apprentice here. So I haven't been here too long, but I've heard a couple stories. And based on that, I decided to Google the location and the address. So pretty simple level of research, but I thought it was kind of interesting. In 2012, when this was still a bank, 3 people had robbed the bank, and unfortunately for them, they had left behind a cell phone, so they ended up getting caught. So that was sort of the extent of the history that I could find about the building. I tried to find before that, sort of chronologically what it was, but found some difficulty. So, so that's sort of the extent.
So, of course, this used to be a bank. And inside, we have a vault. Which is very interesting because, as Paul said, there was a robbery when this was a bank. So we don't know if that's the cause of the paranormal activity Jeff and Dana experienced, but it's kind of cool to stand in here, you know. So you know, you get your filing cabinets, and then you get all these little safe things. So we decided to return to the lobby and conduct one last EVP session before leaving.
Did you work at the bank?
Good question.
ain't no slouch.
Are you okay with? Oh my God,
What?
dude! In the reflection of the glass,
Yeah.
something just moved this way, like from this direction.
What?
I mean, I don't see anything out there. So we're doing our last EVP session and film that. This is what I'm looking at right here. You know, brick wall with the two big glass windows, and you know, I'm sitting here, and the reflection, I see something move, like from over there this way, almost like behind me. But there's nothing outside, and nothing outside moved. Like there was nothing out there to do it. That experience truly left me puzzled. We looked out the window. There was nobody walking by the shop at the time. We reviewed the film. There were no cars going by either. And I honestly sit here and tell you right now, I don't know what moved in the reflection on that window. So, you know, if this place does happen to be haunted, like maybe in the future you have a few more experiences, what is that like for you as the owner of the shop?
It doesn't it's not like a deal breaker for me. It's not like I'm gonna like sell the place and you know, run away with my tail between my legs. I'm really open to the paranormal and, you know, to the supernatural. Like, I tend to think that if there is an entity living here, or if there's an entity or a presence here, I don't really get the vibe that it's evil or bad or anything like that. So I think it might be kind of like, you know, a topic for conversation. Like, we're going to talk about, like, if you put a pen down, the pen disappears, oh, it was the ghost. So I don't think it's a bad thing, really. I think it might be kind of like a fun, playful thing that might develop.
That's going to do it for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And again, we want to give a huge thank you to Jeff Burt and the entire crew at Pleasure and Pain for making this possible. We really couldn't have done this video without you.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode during spooky season, and we hope that you have a very safe and fun Halloween. Is that it, Matt? Do you have anything else to add? Okay. Happy Halloween, and let's get spooky.